Great Saturday morning to you. This is day one of ACES. I am so excited that you are joining us for our summer program where we are learning all about the genius factor. ACES stands for Academics Create Exceptional Students. And because you are here, I already know that you are an exceptional student. So thank you for taking time out on this Saturday morning when you definitely could be watching cartoons, eating cereal, playing outside, whatever. But because you're here, it really does matter. So thank you. My name is Mushim Soot, or Rita Stewart, or Mima, or Moot. However you call me, it doesn't matter. I will respond. But today we are going to learn all about ACEs. Now, in this first part, we're going to just do an orientation so that you can understand more of ACEs and what it's about and why we actually launched this class. So, welcome to your course. So we started ACES. Actually, we started Master Force back in 1990 as a supplement for teaching my eldest son how to ground himself spiritually, emotionally, psychologically. And out of that came the components of ACES. Now, this course objective is to make sure that the listeners, the participants understand how the brain works and how they can actually program themselves to have whatever it is that they focus their attention on. A lot of us don't realize how much of our attention is being taken away from us. And that's why we usually don't achieve what it is that we're trying to get to. So what is expected of you? We're going to do a Saturday Zoom session for 6 weeks. Today is day one, and then we'll do another 5 weeks, and we'll probably have a final session just so we can debrief. You will receive that Zoom session. Actually, the link that you came in on will be the same link, but I will send a reminder out on Thursday or Friday to actually remind you to come on. Your course will be emailed to you after we finish the session online. So the session online on Saturdays is just to kind of get some feedback from the work that you did from the previous week, to answer any questions, and to go over your newfound information and to make sure that it's embedded. You will actually, throughout the week, meet with your buddy, meet with your mentor, and they will support you in making sure that you don't have any challenges. And then on Friday, oh, look at that. I misspelled the word. I'm sorry, guys. I'm usually better at that. But on Fridays, you're going to send a debrief, and that debrief is probably like a paragraph long, just where you're telling me what it is that you got out of the course, whether it was useful or not, and how you actually were able to apply it. It doesn't make any sense to learn something if you don't know how to use it. All right. And now let's go ahead with the student introduction. So, and I know you guys want to keep the camera off, but I still would like you to introduce yourself. And then we also have a mentor online with us as well, who will be working with us through this. So you know that there are reactions. Do you all know how to use the reactions on the bottom when you want to get ready to talk? Yeah, turn on your mic so I can hear you. Use it. Okay, there you go, Chaya.
Yes.
Okay, Chaya. Oh, who's going first? Whoever. Okay. Chaya, you were first, so go ahead and introduce yourself, please. And you're going to say your name, your birthday, your grade, and where you live. You have to unmute yourself, Chaya.
Sorry, I was just going outside so it didn't echo.
Okay.
Okay. My birthday is August 2nd. Oh, sorry.
Introduce yourself.
Right. Yeah. My name is Chaya. My birthday is August 2nd. I'm going into the 9th grade, and I live in Royal Oak, Michigan.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chaya. And Chaya, what do you intend to get out of this course?
A more comfortable way to go about school. I feel like I'm already comfortable with it, but just to make it easier.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. All right. Haika, Ray, who Haika? You're next.
Hi.
I'm waving at you.
Okay.
So
All
your
right.
name.
Well, my name is Huhaika, and
Your birthday, your grade, and
uh, May you May 13th, 2011. I just turned 13.
oh, wonderful. And your grade?
I'm studying 8th grade right now.
Oh, that's right. You're being homeschooled, aren't you?
Yes.
Wonderful. And then where do you live?
What was that?
Where do you live?
Chicago.
Wonderful. And what do you, and I know that this early morning in Chicago, but what do you intend to get out of this course?
Well, eh, well, to be a better student.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. And thank you for joining us. All right, Rute, you're next.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rute. I was born in April 7th, 2006. I am going to be a freshman in college next year, and I live in Royal Oak.
And what do you intend to get out of this course?
To learn about something that I can apply to everyday life.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. And you'll be our senior advocate here. Thank you. All right, that is really great. Thank you all. And all of you had very good intentions there, and we'll make sure that we fulfill on those. But actually, you'll be able to get a lot more out of it than what you said. So that's the main thing. Okay. And now, do you have any questions that you want to ask before we actually get started on today's process? Any questions? Any questions? Okay, well, I'm going to give you some things to think about. You all received a welcome letter, and you also received a flyer letting you know that we work on a point system. So points are actually generated from several different ways. It's generated from you actually attending the Zoom session. So when you attend the Zoom session, you get 5 points, right? So you're here. However, if you are late for the Zoom session, a point is taken from you. So the idea is get here on time, you automatically get 5 points. Then you also get points for participation, right? So the more you participate, the more points you get. Then you also get points when you meet with your buddy and when you meet with your mentor, because we want you to gain skills in allowing people to work with you. Sometimes, and this was me, it's like I can do everything by myself, but just because I can do it by myself does not mean that I should. So it's important to be able to extend yourself so that you can learn social grace, social skills, and actually learn how to receive people's assistance, right? And then you can also you get points for participating, working with your buddy and your mentor. But at the end of the week, you're asked to send in a debrief. So when you send in your debrief, that debrief comes directly to me and to your mentor, and we get to understand how you're learning. And it's not about you as much as it is about us, making sure that we get the information across to you that we would like you to have. So that debrief is another 5 points. So the biggest points that you get are with attending the Zoom and sending in the debrief. The other points are between 2 and 3 points, okay? Now, here's the thing. You actually, those points will gain you something. If you get over 100 points, you end up, well, everybody gets a t-shirt, but the people with 100 points or more, they get the t-shirt, they get a journal, an ACES journal, they get an ACES water bottle, and they get a gift certificate, okay? That could be probably used towards your school supplies or whatever, right? So, and then the lesser points you get, the lesser things you get. So the most you can get is what I just named. And if you get less points than that, you'll just get a t-shirt or a water bottle, okay? Or a t-shirt and a journal, or just a t-shirt, okay? Any questions on any of that? Any questions? Okay. Oh, thank you, Rute.
What I have right now.
Say that again.
How many points do I have right now?
You have 5 points right now. Well, maybe 6 because you're participating. Everybody has 6 points today so far.
As you get an extra point for free.
Say that. I forgot you're a gamer. This is not the whole point of this, okay?
And a t-shirt and water bottle.
You have to get at least 100 points to get a t-shirt. Oh, to get a t-shirt and a water bottle, you have to get I think 80 to 90 points.
Individual prizes for like how many?
Yeah, you can accumulate. So the most you can accumulate is 100 plus points. And then that's when you get all of those things, when you get the t-shirt, the water bottle, the journal, and the gift certificate. Okay, very cool. Great question. All right. And maybe while you're taking this course, you can actually help Ushayas and I develop the gaming version of this. Wouldn't that be cool, Ushayas? What would you like to say to this group of wonderful geniuses?
Oh, indeed. It's just a pleasure to be able to pour into, the youth
Mm-hmm.
and to be able to see what they do with, the wisdom that we've acquired and doing our best to apply it. So whatever avenues that we can delve into, especially in the app world, because they're so acclimated to their phones.
Yes.
I know we can definitely create something that will be usable, not only for them, for other teenagers that will be able to benefit for this factor. Make it easy to them.
Make it easy and accessible. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes, wonderful. So RJ, we welcome your input on helping us to take this to the next level. I was actually, as I was preparing for this course, I was looking back on the class of 2017 that took this, and one of them was Alanda's daughter, who graduated from Clark University last year. And she said that this course really made a difference for her. Right, I have to get her to write that down.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that awesome? Yes. I know Chaya, she graduated from Clark and she was just so excited. She thought it was really great and very useful. Okay, so now everyone should have something probably to take notes with. Huhaika, do you have something to take notes with? We're going to actually begin to go through the course. I'll go through this part while we talk about this. So the idea is to take your time with the course. Your buddy is going to be the first line of support and interaction. And since there are 3 of you, all 3 of you are buddies. and Eushaeus is your mentor, okay? So you and your buddy have the same mentor. You want to take your questions to them. But what we suggest is if you have a question, talk to your buddies about it because they may have that same question, okay? And then if you can't get it resolved or you have any major concern, you can reach out to me, Mushim Suit, all right? And you can call me Moot, Mama Moot, Mushim Suit, whatever it is, Mima, I respond to all that, okay? All right, so any questions on any of that? Okay, wonderful. So now I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and I'm going to take us into the actual session that we're doing this week, which is going to be the power of the breath. Okay.
And FYI, I did put Heike's email address in the chat and also emailed it to you. For
Oh,
future.
wonderful. Okay, I will go and grab that. And the idea is that each one of you need to have one another's email. So RJ and Chaya, you can grab Huhaika's email out of there. All right, I'm gonna pull up this slide so we can start. All right, there we go. All right, can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, the power of your breath. So we're going to have a great time because I keep studying this deeper, the breath on a deeper level, because it's one thing when you're young and it's a whole different thing when you're older, right? We take it for granted. So I want each of you to give me an idea when we talk about the power of your breath. How do you hear that? Do you hear that as a mystery? Do you hear that as something that's useful? Tell me, what do you hear when we talk about the power of your breath? Okay, Rute?
The power of your breath. I think of like how it's like one of, if not the most important thing you need to live. Like it's air, breathing.
Yes, it is one of the most important things, actually. That's right. Very good. Chaya?
When I hear the power of your breath, I think of the way that you could use your breath to control yourself in certain situations.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Excellent. All right. Huhaika, what do you hear when we say the power of your breath?
When I think about it, I just think like just taking deep breaths and like in like serious situations and just like when you're like hurting, or you can just like control your breath and that will help it. That's what I think about it.
Yeah, because isn't it interesting that when something happens, that's the first thing people say, isn't it? Breathe, right?
Right.
That's the first thing they say. So in this session, we're going to take it a little bit deeper than that, right? So the first part of this, and you'll get this email to you from your mentor after we finish this session. So in this session, throughout this week, you are going to work on session 1, where you're discovering the overview of breathing. You're going to learn all about belly breathing. You're going to learn about breathing to relax. And then we're going to encourage you to create a daily practice, because the more you develop deep breathing or belly breathing, the more power it gives you. And then at the end of the week, you're going to send in a debrief. Now, we like to receive your debrief by 5 or before 5 o'clock on Fridays, right? And if you would like to have a session on Friday night for 30 minutes to an hour, where we do some deep breathing this week, or whatever it is that you want to do around the session. We can do that before we go to session number 2 on Saturday. But you can actually say that in your debrief, you know, can we actually do some breathing together? Chaya? Oh, you're saying good idea. Okay, great. Okay, wonderful. So this is what the session will look like when you get it, right? It'll have all of these in here, and you'll have an overview of breathing where you're going to meet Dr. Happy. And then you're going to click here to listen to him tell you about your breath. Now, Dr. Happy has been my mentor now for about 15 years, actually a little bit longer than that. But, you know, recently, about 3 years ago, I had a very severe accident. And the one thing he kept saying, okay, do your breathing every day. He came over and he's a chiropractor. He did the table and he worked all the things out. Now, most people who don't have access to that, they have to get hip replacements, or they end up with canes and walking sticks. But to have access to this information made it more possible for me to heal faster and get back to being able to walking, which I'm excited about, right? So make sure you listen to this. When you're listening to this, take notes, because the notes are going to help you when you get ready to debrief, okay? And then right here, we say, write in your journal the thoughts about what you learned while listening to Dr. Happy's, right? And then here is where you're going to learn how to breathe with Yasir Rahatep. I've also studied Egyptian yoga with Yasir, and Yasir was taught Egyptian yoga from Dr. Happy. So we have these amazing mentors and master force to teach us the ancient sciences, right? Now we want to make sure that you're able to breathe like Yasir. So make sure that you're practicing. So if you're practicing, can you wait until Friday to do this work?
No.
No. You want to start on this work today, or at least tomorrow, so that as you're journaling, you can see the benefit. If you wait until Friday, all you're doing is cramming. We want to actually teach you how to learn in a way that serves you, as compared to learning in a way where you can take tests. You see, there's a different modality there. Can you hear that? It's unfortunate that the educational system has spent so much time on testing that people are not really learning how to apply knowledge. Can you all hear that? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so we want you to take your time and work through this. And then you have a video here, Breathe and Relax, where it will work you through breathing. If you can use that every day, that's how you know that you're doing your practice. Your daily practice is going to be 10 breaths at each session, making notes in your journal, using these breathing practices when you're feeling emotional imbalances, and then checking in with your buddy. And when you check in with your buddy, you get points, RJ. You actually get points, okay? So make sure that you're doing that. But it's not so much just checking in, but you guys can have breathing sessions together. You can actually, do some things that to stimulate you all, making sure that this information goes deeper. Whenever you're learning something and you share it with someone else, it ingrains it in you, okay? So that's why that's so important to do that. And then there's a little bit of a quiz just for yourself. And then you want to write in your debrief if you actually got that or not, if it made sense. And then that's the end. And then when you finish, you're going to send your debrief to Rita at masterforceleadershipacademy.com. And you share, if you would put your email in the chat, they can also send that debrief to you. So you would put my email as well as your mentor's email on your debrief, so that we can each be looking at you know, because I could miss something, right? And so it's good. And Shares is very good about having me catch things. So it's important. It's important that you share with her. And then that would end your actual session for this week. So now, any questions on that? Any questions? Does anyone have anything that they need to say about this?
Could you, like,
I
Is
just want to
sessions,
say,
sorry, go ahead.
go
RJ, speak up, please.
for the sessions, would like the breathing, would they be like deep breath?
Well, you'll see. You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn about. Actually, RJ, I started teaching you belly breathing when you were 18 months old, so this should be a breeze for you. Okay. you you Shares.
yes, I'm really excited about this because this is something, is essential. When you master your breath, you master everything. So to start off with just comprehending the power of the breath, um, is really good.
Yes. Yes, and you'll find out that most people do not breathe properly. And that's what causes a lot of the disease that people have. Go ahead, Chaya.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is it like, so for this session one, it's the power of your breath. Is it a different topic or a different name for each session?
Yes. If you look at, I sent you in your email, I sent you on the Zoom link.
Mhm.
There's a document there that actually shows you. Let me see, do I have it? Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. It actually shows you, let me stop sharing, the different topics. Hold on, let me find, that's a great question, Chaya. Let me see if I can find it. All right. Any other questions while I look for this? Anybody got?
I have a book that she was reading. It's called The Breath
Mm-hmm.
by Dr. York. I was looking for the PDF to share with you all, but it goes in detail about the semi breathing.
But well, Dr. Hoppy will talk more about that. They'll be able to see that with Dr. Hoppy. And then I was going to say that would be something that we could say would be part of, that would be good for some extra credit. So
Okay.
yes, you can get some extra credit. How
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah, and I have some other
Yeah, we have, but we don't want to go too deep with them though, because we
Okay.
want them to have, because now RJ could go deeper because he's moving into a deeper space.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we want to get them into the practice. Does that make sense?
It does. It
Yeah.
does.
The practice is what we want to have them making sure that they are actually taken in, because we can always have a lot to talk about, but not necessarily know how to use it. All right, let me see where this looks like it. Hold on, I'm pulling it up. But yeah, any of that would be useful for us to share together, okay? Boom. All right, let's open this. All right, and I'm going to share my screen. All right. So can you see that? So see on here, yeah, it talks about the point system, tells you how many points you can get for each thing, right? And then it also shows you the YouTube channel. So on yours, you can actually click on these and go and look at some of the things on YouTube. We have a whole series about breathing on there, right? And then also you can find that we have if you're on Facebook, we have a master force. I don't think any of you are on Facebook, but anyway, we do have Facebook presence for the ACES program, as well as for the Master Force Leadership Academy, okay? But then here are the discussion points. So week 1 is the power of breathing. Week 2 is how the brain works. Week 3 is mental programs. Week 4 is the MARV technique. Week 5 is create your outcomes. And week 6 is the healing arts. And I believe we're going to have a guest teacher with us for that. Okay. All right. And so all of you all should have received this in your email, so you'll know. But this is why we spend a week on the power of breathing, the power of your breath, because this is what you're going to be doing after this week. We literally will be starting with breathing. Once you learn, we'll be starting with breathing. Our first 5 or 10 minutes will be using our breath, because that's the fundamental, even for the coaches that get certified as life coaches through Master Force. That's the first session in our certification process. Okay, that's how important that is. Great question. All right, any other questions? And remember, you have this in your email, so you can review it there. Anything else you want to share, you shares?
Yeah, I was just looking for the PDF.
Oh, okay, but you have this whole week to share that, so that's fine.
Right. Yeah, it's just once you master your breath and just the simple things to do, once it's a part of how you create magic.
Ooh,
And when
yeah.
you get into the space of really comprehending just the little nuances, like let me just give you an example. Yesterday I was in the backyard doing I just did a bonfire for the new, bringing in the new energy for the new moon. And I was just looking at the fire, and I just kept saying fire. You know how first it was smoldering. And so I wanted to see fire, right? So I was breathing those words into the atmosphere, and the wind just started blowing, and then the flames started to come. And I was just playing around with it,
Yeah.
And the essence of it was the breath. You have to take that breath before you do anything. And the more we're in tune with how the consciousness of our breath, there's so much creativity and magic that comes along with that. So I'm excited for you all to really embrace this particular topic.
Wonderful. Yay. So now for your extra credit, besides of what Ushayas is going to share with us, your extra credit this week. Okay, everybody see your emails. Everybody pull those emails. You can actually save the chat with the emails if you want to too. But your extra credit this week will be to investigate alternate nostril breathing. Okay? Alternate nostril breathing. That will be your extra credit. And so when we come back on Saturday, I would like for you to share with us what you've learned, what you discovered, and why alternate nostril breathing is an important aspect of learning about the power of your breath. So did everyone get that? And if you do that, RJ, that's an additional 5 points. Oh, great. Did you find it, Ushayas? Okay, excellent. I'm going to just hit.
It. Ruchi's going to have a lot of fun with that book. I'm just forewarning you already.
No, I'm going to actually download it so I can have.
Definitely download it. It's a PDF that you can.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm doing it now. So you know how you can forget and go, oh, but although this chat is saved, So even after we're off, we can continue to chat with each other. Okay, so you guys can come back to the chat in the Zoom. This
Oh,
is
it's a continuous chat.
and this is going to be the link for every week. Okay, so it'll be there. Wonderful. Okay, so any questions, anything anybody need to say? I've shared what I was going. Yes, Rute, go ahead.
How do you is alternate nostril breathing what it sounds like?
Yeah,
How would I do that?
I want you to, that's what I want you to come back and tell me. I want you to do some research around it. So whatever research looks like, that's what I want you to do. All of you are at the age where you know how to research. Part of our work is research. You do not want to wait for people to always tell you where to find information. So now you're going to research and you're going to come back next week. And Rute, I would like you to tell us what alternate nostril breathing is next week and maybe even teach it to us, okay? Or demonstrate.
I'm gonna put it out there. I always thought that you could only switch nostril breathing when your body calls for it. Like, oh, if you want to breathe
Oh
through
yeah,
the other nostril, then because usually you breathe in through one nostril and you breathe out the other nostril.
that's good. That's good, Rute, because the body really does breathe differently at different times of the day, depending on the type of energy you're putting out. That's great. But this is different. So you're going to have to research it. That's a great try. Young
You
master
gotta do the
genius.
work. Gotta do the work.
Got to do the work, right? You know some stuff, but there's some stuff you're going to add to that that's going to make a huge difference. But yeah, the body does breathe through different nostrils at different times. That's why sometimes when we wake up, one side of our nose might be stuffy and the other one is clear. Okay, great. What other questions or comments do you have? Are you guys eager to get to work? You eager to get to your session?
I have one more comment. When you start studying the breath, you see that there's a lot of quote unquote experts out there. However, when you get into the essence of Kundalini yoga, Kemetic yoga, Tibetan meditation, all these stages that are out here, everything starts with the breath. It's like anything that they're doing, those on a higher level. So take it, it's what I want to say. It could be considered a boring journey. Just listening to your breath and understanding how it is, but it's just so much magic. And there's a lot of different things, but whatever you study or read about, until you actually practice it for yourself, it won't connect. So that's regardless of what you're studying or reading, whatever you read, practice. If you read something about Kundalini yoga, oh my God.
Kundalini, yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
No, my tongue was going crazy. If you're studying that, Kemetic yoga, Kung Fu, until you actually do it yourself in the different levels of breathing, because there's belly breathing, there's chakra breathing, there's just all types of breathing. But when you get into the basics, just this little part, so just know that this is just a start of a lot of different mechanisms that you can use with your breath. All right. Thank you.
Wonderful. Yes, and the most important thing about that is that if you can just get into breathing consciously, it will take you into all those higher levels. You know, the thing about society is that they will start labeling things and move it to this and move it to that and move it to this, but your insides know, okay, your intuition. And so when you practice, you will know the levels and you will be called to what's next for you. All right, so that's good. That's great you shares, because it's a lot out there. And this is just a small tip of the iceberg, very small tip, but it's the most important tip because, again, most people do not breathe properly. And this causes a lot of premature deaths because they're not taking in enough oxygen. And it causes premature aging too, because as you get older, you need more oxygen. And if you don't know about belly breathing, you're probably not getting half of what you need. So your body suffers. Wonderful. Okay, well, that's all that I have. If you have any final questions, this is the time to ask. You should be receiving your session before noon today or a little bit after, because some of us are on East Coast time. And if you run into any challenges, again, make sure that you grab your email for each of your buddies, Rute, Chaya, and Huhaika. You guys are buddies, and work with your buddies this week. And then if you have any further, you see that Mutyu shares has a lot that she can share with you. So do not hesitate to reach out, but don't try to exhaust the topic. This is not about exhausting the topic as much as it is about learning to practice the skill. This is where we're practicing. Until you can practice deep breathing or belly breathing, alternate nostril breathing, fire breaths, until you can practice those things, it doesn't make sense just to know them. All right, so this week, we're practicing the power of breathing, and that's going to start with us learning about breathing into our belly. Okay? All right. Anything else? All right, guys. So I want you all to each tell me what's the most important thing you got out of today for yourself, and then we'll sign off. Who's going first?
I'm looking forward to looking up what not alternate nostril breathing.
Ooh, you love a challenge, don't you? Hey, there you go, Rute. All right. Thank you, Rute. Okay, who's next? What's the most important thing you got out of today for yourself? Huhaika?
Um, is this someone else? Give me a sec. Um,
What did you what were you sleeping through this course? I know you were. But what did you get for yourself today?
um, well, I learned more about belly breathing. It just, I don't know, it was multitasking, so I wasn't really.
Okay, so you know multitasking. Do you know that there's a rule that there's no such thing? You can't comprehend anything and you can't be successful if you multitask. You have to be focused, one thing at a time, 100% committed. Presence is more important to multitasking. Multitasking is about feeding the ego and getting things done. Being present is about being fully engaged within you. So no multitasking. You see,
Okay.
that demonstrated that you spent an hour not getting something that could have made a difference for you. Okay. And whatever you achieved, you still lost that hour here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, no multitasking. Thank
Let
you.
me just say for Heike, I did not, I told her about it. I didn't know it was starting today. So we jumped on really fast, and she was in the process about to fix her something to eat when when it came on.
Got
But
it.
acclimated, she's gonna be acclimated and
Okay.
more engaged. So that the multitasking won't happen again.
Wonderful. And remember, that's what I said about me having her email too, because that makes a difference. You know, a lot of parents,
Right.
you send it to the parents and then they're like, oh, I forgot to send it. So now we'll talk directly to Huhaika. So no problem. Okay. And then Chaya, what's the most important thing you got for today for you? Are you multitasking out there on the porch?
No. The most important thing, actually, let me go on the porch because it is echoing. The most important thing, or multiple things that I've learned from this session so far, is that everyone is capable of using their breath and their belly to breathe, and that it's very important, and that everyone should like take advantage of it because it could help with a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And isn't that interesting too, that that's the first thing that we do when we come out of the womb? We breathe. And that's the last thing that we do before we leave this planet. But in between, we don't learn how powerful it is. So that's the advantage that you guys are getting. Rute, what were you going to add?
Just a little question about the like debriefing. I forgot the details about it. Would we like send a debriefing
Yeah. Yes, you'll send the debrief on Friday.
before Friday?
Not before Friday, on Friday. The reason on Friday is because I want you to spend Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with your practice. If you send it before Friday, that means that you're more conscious about getting done than what you are about learning the process. This really is about the application of, okay?
Debriefing is like a paragraph long, like a short
Yeah, a
paragraph.
paragraph. Now, I want you to know that some people have sent, and I think you Shez is guilty of this, like whole like books, you know, like that because they love to write. You know, you remember that you Shez, but that's not this. This is just really like a debrief, just like sharing what you got. Although I love reading those things, you know, I still go back sometimes and look at them because it really is a lot of depth, and we keep it simple for a reason, but there's a lot more depth to what we're sharing. So your debrief is you talking about, oh, this week I did my practice, and then this week I saw this in myself, and this week I did, and that's why we're asking you to use your journal to take notes each day so that when you're writing your debrief, you can go back and reflect on what happened during those days. Does that answer, or do you have more?
Question. Thank you.
Okay. You Shaz, what were you gonna say?
I said, yeah, I'm probably the reason why you put a word count on the debrief.
Had three of you guys, three different ones, one in each session though, right? You were the one when you were going through, and it was like, okay, guys, this is not about a dissertation.
I
Not
had a
working.
lot to say.
You had a lot to say. You were excited about it though. It
Yeah.
wasn't like you were excited, you know. So I loved it, you know, I enjoyed it. But yeah. And I was
Say
glad.
75 to 100 words.
Right.
No more than 75 to 100 words.
It's really a small, it's just enough so that we know that you're getting it. Very cool. All right, guys. Well, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And thank you for joining us this morning. It has really been great. And I look forward to your debriefs. And if you have any questions, reach out to your buddy, reach out to your mentor, and then me. You probably never get to me because your buddy and your mentor, they have the answers. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. That's the end of session 1. See you next week.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Have a great
Thank
week.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.